Most families are blessed to have both parents at home. I was just blessed with one parent at home, my dad. My mom left when I was about 1.5 years old. She intended to come back, but that never happened due to visa problems. As a child, I really didn't know who my mom really was. She was just a soft, sweet voice coming from the other side of the telephone line. Until I turned 8, I went to Colombia for the first time and met my mother for the first time as well. My first memory of seeing her is from the hotel window getting out of the taxi. At that moment, I realized that I was about to meet my mom. That first moment I hugged her, I felt at home. I had finally met her. Over the next 10 years, I went to Colombia to see my mom for 2 weeks at the most at a time. It felt great seeing her every time. We would always talk about how we would all live together one day. Until around October of 2011, my family in Colombia called us saying my mom was getting sick and was checked into the hospital. Being thousands of miles away from her at this time wasn't the best feeling. Not knowing what is going on, only getting updates from family every few hours made me want to be with her even more. Around early December of 2011, we were told by family that my mother was diagnosed with cervical cancer. At that moment, time just froze for me. The feeling that my mother had cancer was very scary. I tried not to think about it as much, and tried to think positive and that everything would be okay. I would talk to my mom over the phone, and we would cry together. We would try not to think about it, but the thought that these may be the last words I'd be able to hear from my mom haunted me. On February of 2012, I finally got to see my mom after almost 2 years of not seeing her. Seeing her in a hospital bed crushed my heart. Such a sweet, healthy woman that she was, being in a hospital bed was not fair. I spent the most I could during this time. Me and my sister tried the most to take her out on a wheelchair to get some fresh air. After just a week of spending time with her, I had to return back to the US and go back to school. The goodbye was the worst part. Not being sure if I was going to see her again drove me crazy. A couple months later, on May 7th, I got a phone call from my sister telling me that my mother had passed away at 7:20 in the morning. Her battle with cancer was over. It's been a year and a half since she's passed, but she still lives on in my memories. She may be gone, but she'll never be forgotten.